points, and we're ready for some more. Welcome to Austin, Texas, and DKR, home of the Texas Longhorns. As we'll see, the number 6 team in the country, the Texas A&M Aggies, taking on the 18th ranked team in the land, the Texas Longhorns. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. The Longhorns will put it away to start the game. On the run from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. From the gun, the running back has it. Got enough for the first. Brought down at the 28, but it's a 10-yard gain. Foundation of Aggie football built on toughness like that, running it like John David Crow back in the day.
And those Texas people are tough and rugged, and, you know, they wear their great outfits that you love to watch. But these Aggies, I think they're at their best when they got great running backs. And you've seen Spiller and A-Chain in recent history, finding those game breakers, those game busters that can make big plays.
Well, the tight end shows off his speed. See his ability there to separate from the defender trying to cover him on that drag route.
You can barely hear yourself thinking here as they're trying to get this defense off to a good start. Back to throw, it's Reed. Intercepted in the first drive, in for the pick. He's knocked down, but what a play to come up with the interception.
There might not be a hotter player right now in college football than this guy right here. He had 2 picks in their last game. He already has an interception in the first drive of this one. Quarterbacks, they're going to figure it out eventually. Stop throwing his way.
The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
A&M Texas.
Linebackers shuffling around, trying to keep the quarterback from getting a read. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Going to try to pop one on the screen. Still running at the 35. They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another first down. Passing game kept this drive moving. Let's see if they try it again. Leaves it with the running back. Turning it on. Nice pickup on the ground there. They'll move the sticks for the first down.
When the running back gets going and gets ahead of steam like that, it's so hard to get to the ground. That's why you blitz. That's why you bring pressure. That's why you bring more guys in the box so you can get him before he gets going. But once he got going, you could tell it was hard to get a hand on him, hard to get him to the ground.
He makes the grab. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line. Deep in the season, that crisp air all around you, and this feels like a must-win game, guys.
This is a game that will impact the college football playoff. It'll have conference championship implications, and it'll have bowl game implications as well. David, so much riding on the line in this one.
And you can feel it, man. You can feel the energy. The players this week, they were on high. Like, you could tell they were ready for the challenge. This is going to be an absolute showdown.
Now facing a 3rd and long. Dropping back, it's Manning. Got his man. Got enough space. Touchdown, Texas. A great catch and run for 6. So much about the passing game is about timing, execution, communication, and these two, that's a virtual textbook there.
And no doubt about it. And the receiver making plays for his quarterback, being dependable, running the route to the right depth consistently. Does a great job running this route. Great result because of it.
They get set for the point after as we have the first score of the game. And the extra point makes it 7-0. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. Kickoff unit on the field, and defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The Texas A&M offense goes back to work. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. Fires to the tight end. And a good job of coverage by that defense, just a short pickup. Texas A&M going quickly. Did Bevo really get his name after altering a brand on his backside put there by Texas A&M students? So many questions to answer since 1894, guys.
And that's what's so cool about this rivalry. When you have the back and forth and who did what, going all the way back to 1894, Reese's first birthday, what an amazing rivalry.
There have been a lot of good players during that stretch, too. Think about Ricky Williams from the Horns, Johnny Manziel, Texas A&M. So many great coaches have patrolled the sidelines in this rivalry for years.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. They'll go right back to the run. Powers through the defender. Tackled at the 45 after a 5-yard pickup. Mike Elko's first season in Aggieland started much better than it finished, but a strong recruiting class has them ready to wash away that sour ending from last year.
It wasn't a great ending, but you could see the momentum. You could see the offensive flashes with Reed at the quarterback spot, and you saw the defense with Elko. That's what he does. He does that thing on that side of the football. So now, Jesse, year 2 with an established coach now at your helm.
Yeah, and consistency at the quarterback spot, too. With Connor Wigman and then Marcel Reed and kind of going back and forth. They haven't had that offensively. Having the same guy week in, week out, especially one as talented as Marcel Reed, I think, really sets Texas A&M up for success.
So an example of a tight end doing a little unheralded work to set up a much better third down situation.
And I like the QB here. I like the decision where I understand, let's get this football out, let's get some positive yards, and then get to third down, and we can still have a better situation now because we got rid of the football and took the yards that were there.
Nice job to pick up the first down, and they'll spot it at the 42. Guys, it is Texas who holds the lead, and we've reached the end of one. Before we move on, let's take a look at our stats so far. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game in the second quarter. So they'll go back to work after changing into the field. Dropping back, it's Reed. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
Well, the quarterback knew he wanted to go to his tight end on that play. He's a big physical target, but it was the hit on the play that forced the incompletion.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Fires to the big fella. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
Looking to throw on first down. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
Well, it was a good throw. It was a good route, but it was the hit that forced that incompletion.
Well, will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? Lost to throw again. I don't think that's the way they drew it up. Incomplete.
All right, you got to be careful here if you're the quarterback, right? Back-to-back incompletions. You've had a nice drive. You're still in field goal range there. Think about this. You cannot take a sack. That has got to be what the play caller is reminding his quarterback about in the headsets right now. If it's not there, throw this thing away because we've got a chance to at least get 3 points here.
Fires to the tight end. Knocked out of bounds. They're in the red zone. Mark it at the 17, and they are set up.
And it's on third downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
Hauls it in. That completion gets them inside the 10, and the defense is running out of room to defend.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
To the air, it's Reed. Got it! He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it first and goal. Nice, solid completion there. Hit him on the slant.
Yeah, and a nice route in the slot, too, by that receiver. Great job putting his foot in the ground, crossing the face of the defender, and giving his quarterback a nice target to throw to.
Slams ahead. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. Texas A&M going up tempo. Receiver comes in motion. Tries again to get it in. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Unsuccessful second down, and now I'm immediately thinking, I got a little bit more than I want, so what are my pass plays? What am I going to get into here offensively to try to have success on third down?
Third and goal, and let's see if they can even operate in this noise. They'll run play action. And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line. It'll be fourth and goal, and it'll be a tough one. He wants to throw it. Drop the football, and they'll turn it over on downs. The decision to go for it does not pan out.
And that is a big-time drop right there. Fourth down, opportunity to catch it, maybe get the first down. That is tough to swallow, but as a QB, I got to walk over to him and say, listen, dude, we're going to need you later on. I still believe it.
So now the Longhorns take over, and they'll send out the offense. They'll run the RPO and throw it right. Breaks into the open. And they'll spot it at the 45. That's good enough for a first down. Guys, the levels of hype and impatience awaiting the arrival of Arch Manning pretty much unsustainable over the last couple of years. Meanwhile, Quinn Ewers was pretty doggone good. But Arch is pretty deserving of all of this attention, I'd say, Jesse.
He's very, very talented. That jumps off the film when you watch him. You can see why he was so highly regarded coming out of high school. You can see why Texas fans are so impatient to finally watch what he does this year. Now, it's one thing to do it against Louisiana Monroe. It's one thing to do it against UTSA and Mississippi State. Can he do it against the Georgias? Can he do it against the big boys in the SEC on a consistent basis? You can't wait to find out.
When you play defensive end, it's all about getting off the football. You can tell, gets off the football really fast, gets in the backfield, gets the running back before he knows what hit him. What a play by the defensive end.
Plenty of options here, run or pass on third down right around midfield. Unloads to the wideout. On target to the left. Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37.
Well, it wasn't a great start for this quarterback, but on this drive, he seems to be turning the corner. He just looks like he's playing in a different rhythm. He's seeing the field better. It's almost as if the game is starting to slow down for him. And I think on that last completion, it was a good example of it.
The Longhorns will snap it on 1st and 10. They'll give it to the back. He's going to lose a yard on that one. So you get stuffed on first down. You had an idea of what you wanted to do on second, but I'm guessing it's back to the drawing board now.
Yeah, you got to figure out who you are and what you are. What's your next best play? Or what is the defense going to do? If they've been aggressive, okay, if they've been aggressive, I'm going to throw that deep ball. If they've been sitting back, I might sneak a draw in here.
They're trying to throw the wide receiver screen to pick up that first down, but the defense just too much speed getting to the ball carrier on that one.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Trying play action. Fires to the wideout. Can't make the connection on 3rd down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's 4th down.
Well, this offense has gone his way early and often in this game. They've gotten into a nice rhythm. That time, though, the defense was expecting to throw going his way, and they put a really nice hit on him to force the incompletion.
And the Longhorns will try to convert on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Moving away from pressure. Plenty of time as he fires it to the right. Big tight end makes the grab. It's a 1st down. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the 1st down. How about that one? 4th and forever, and he just turned one loose and fired it for the 1st down.
Man, does that sting defensively.
Sneaks it in.
And how big is that for this offense? Put a nice drive together, get the touchdown, add to this lead already. Everything right now, Palmer, going their way.
Yeah, that was as good a 2-minute type situation as you could have offensively. And David, they've got so many weapons on this offense. They practice these situations all the time, and they put it to work here at the end of the 1st half.
And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And that was not what they had in mind as the kickoff sails out of bounds. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Dropping back, it's Reed. Throws for the tight end. Intercepted. A 1st half turnover can swing momentum. Good gain on the return, and this defense has set them up with a big play.
And I like the aggressiveness. I understand you're down, right before the half. You want to go get some points, but you can't turn the football over here. Now you've set the other team up in a position to maybe get more points as the 1st half's winding down.
They'll crank up this drive with the pass. Flips it out on the screen. Finds a little space. There he goes. Out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. Edge of the red zone, and they have their eyes on the score.
And the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football. Had time. Spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
Starting to feel a little pressure. Wide open downfield. Stop at the 3, but it'll be enough to give them a 1st and goal. They'll immediately call timeout.
Well, you know who's got to love this offense picking up so many 1st downs? It's their own defense. David, I know you loved playing on teams with great offenses.
Now on 1st and goal, a score here, and that mountain is huge if you want to make a comeback. Caught in the backfield, it's Lockett. That completion has them right on the doorstep. They'll mark it at the 1. The offense burns its 3rd and final timeout of the half. Looking for just 1 more yard. It's 2nd and goal. Trying to pound their way in. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Longhorns!
Well, this offense is clicking. They've been doing it all 1st half, running the ball, throwing the ball. They add insult to injury with another touchdown here right before teams go into the tunnel. This defense, guys, they have got to find some answers, and they've got to regroup here at halftime.
And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. Kickoff unit has been busy as they have built a big lead. They're trying to hold on to it. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the 1st half. To the air, it's Reed. Working the big fella draw it to the corner. They get him on the ground late in the half. They have the first down at the 41.
Man, these tight ends are such matchup nightmares. They can run so many different routes. And how about you throw in the corner route where you can throw it up to the big fella, where you've worked on your timing, you've moved him all over the field and had success. Great throw, great catch.
And it's picked off for the third time today.
And he makes a play in the back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his second of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
Just enough time to get off one final play of the half. Running back searching for a hole. And after that short game, they'll head to the locker room for halftime. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. Kicker has everything lined up and about set to get this one underway.
Texas.
From inside his own 15, looking for room. Finds just enough space to cross the 25. Let's mark it at the 27-yard line. Here comes the Texas offense. Not sure they had to adjust much as they'll try to build on this lead. First play from scrimmage, and they'll keep it on the ground. And he found plenty of running room on that one before the defense was finally able to get it down.
In halftime in this locker room, there was a lot of positive things to talk about. You got the lead, but you know what else will be positive, Palmer? Get the running game going early in this second half.
You're absolutely right here, and I think this coaching staff is going to try to put this game on the offensive line a little bit. Let these guys take this thing over, be physical, and push this defense around.
And if this defense wants to get back in the football game, they've got to match the physicality of this offense. And that's a great start here in the second half. Like coming out, not letting them run the football, being the more physical and more aggressive team.
At midfield, he's got room. Big play, takes him into plus territory. He's out of bounds at the 47. And the Longhorns have it with a 1st and 10. Give to the running back. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays.
Oh, he's got some space. He works his way inside the 30 down to the 29 and picks up a first down.
This is going to be a big key for him, David, with the lead here in the second half, running the football, right? Staying on the field and bleeding the clock.
And run the football, you're ahead, you can be a little bit more conservative. But again, this opens up the pass. This keeps everything in balance for this offense.
Well, right away after picking up a first down, they go right back to their playmaker at running back. And I love the push they got up front, getting a hat on a hat, opening a huge hole for the back.
Man, you become so hard to defend when you can run the football successfully on first down. If you're starting like that, now what opens up? Play action. Now you're making me play pass and run. This offense, if they can create that run physicality, now it opens up everything else.
They'll go to the ground. He's brought down just running hard in the red zone, and he'll be just a few inches short.
That's a big key for this offense. Now, you've got the lead here in the second half. You want to run the football. You got to just keep getting positive yards. You got to keep the third down.
The Sneak scores it.
It's just so nice to have a signal caller who can make plays through the air and make plays with his feet like this. Runs in for the touchdown. The defense knows I have to account for him every play. That's my quarterback.
And the extra point makes it 28-0. They marched 72 yards, and it was finished off with the quarterback sneak.
Texas.
And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. First play of the drive comes from the 22. They'll run it behind the big guys on the left. Can't get him to the ground. Brought down at the 33, but not before he gets 10.
You just sense the frustration starting to build, not only on offense, but I think with this running back as well. He is so talented. He's had some massive games throughout his career. Just haven't been able to get him going early in this game. That was a pretty good run there. Let's see if he can turn it on here in the second half.
Use the play fake, now to throw. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
You can sense the frustration building on the field and on the sideline for this team because on paper, they're the better team. From a player standpoint, from a record standpoint, things just not going their way in this game, and someone's going to have to step up and make a play to turn this thing around.
Looking for a man, it's Reed. Quarterback adapted. That's reeled in, it's Moss.
This is why he's the quarterback leading his team, because he can do things like that, the unscripted stuff, and buy time, scramble outside the pocket, complete the pass down the field. Just so hard to stop as opposed to a guy that just stands in the pocket and you know exactly where he's going to be every single play.
That's caught, it's Carroll. They get him on the ground, and that'll be the final play of this third period. Guys, it is Texas who holds the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. As we enter the fourth quarter, let's see if anything memorable can come from this one. Final stands of the game, and we'll start with the first down. Looking to throw again. Finds his big tight end. Nice pickup there, gets him the first down and sets him up at the 45-yard line.
This has been a frustrating day. I mean, they haven't moved the ball consistently, and now you get a play, but they haven't put 2 and 3 and 4 plays together, and that's why they're trailing in this football game. So maybe they can find some kind of a rhythm here late in the game and get something cooking.
And they couldn't make the connection on the long shot.
You got to give this defense tons of credit because they have been lights out. They have not allowed a single point so far, and a big reason why is how well they're playing on the back end. They came into this game knowing the offense was going to try to throw the football, but they're not giving anything up, and another great job that time in coverage.
Grabbed in the middle, it's Bussey. Knocked down at the 29-yard line. Picked up 15 yards on the play, and he's got a first down.
The offense has struggled. They're not going to win this game, but trust me, this coaching staff is still trying to find things to build off of for next week. And after an explosive play like that, maybe they can generate just a little bit of momentum and gain a little bit of confidence that they can keep coaching up heading into their next game.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. To pass, it's Reed. Oh, they're after him. And it is another interception. Just a terrible struggle for this quarterback. Speeding down the left side. He's at the touchdown, Texas. This defense making a big play and putting it in the end zone.
Dude, you didn't think it could get any worse, right? You thought this game's over as it is anyways. Offense still throwing the football, still trying to make plays, and the defense just continues to pour it on, gets the pick, makes its way all the way to the end zone.
And the extra point splits the uprights. He'll bring it out. It's Smith. And the returner runs out of real estate as he goes down. So the Texas A&M offense returns to the field. A very disappointing performance for the #1 team in the country. There'll be a new team atop the rankings when they come out next. That's caught. It's Carroll.
Well, this defense is used to seeing this fullback just slam up on in there trying to block people. Now you release him out of the backfield to see if you can catch the defense off guard.
The Aggies in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Wants to go up top. Got it in the middle. It's Bussey. Turning it on. Shoved out of bounds after a big gain. They'll mark it at the plus 42. They've put the O into offense as in 0 yards. And finally, they get a big play to give them a little momentum.
Finally, some good luck on offense. I mean, they've been closer throughout this game. They've taken some shots. They've tried to be aggressive. They just haven't been able to come up with a big play. This game's not over yet, especially after that one.
Man, this sophomore quarterback unleashed a cannon on that one. A&M comes back out with another first down. To the air, it's Reed. Looking left. And the timing just a hair off.
Well, this has been a day to forget if you're this quarterback. And I got to be honest, guys, I'm surprised he's still even in the game right now because he's had zero rhythm. He hasn't been accurate. He's thrown a ton of interceptions. Most coaches would have pulled their guy by now. I know the guy I played for back in college, he would have pulled me about 2 interceptions ago.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
Well, the defense really stepped up in this game. They knew they had to slow down this passing attack. They knew they had some matchups they were going to have to win one-on-one. They've been able to do that, and as a result, they haven't allowed 200 passing yards in this game.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. And the quarterback will take a sack back at the 36.
Third and long situation, we're bringing an extra DB on the field. We're telling our front guys to pin your ears back and go get the QB, and they get the job done.
On fourth down, looking to pass. Fires to the big fella. Knocked out of bounds. They're in the red zone. Mark it at the 17, and they are set up.
Well, this offense has not put their best product on the field today. They've got no points to show for any of their efforts so far, but they've still got a chance. But if it's going to happen, it has to happen now in this 2-minute situation. This is where their playmakers need to step up.
Finds his big tight end. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line. Texas A&M going quickly. Clock stops, and we've reached the 2-minute timeout. This offense looking for anything to cut into this big lead. Working well behind the sticks on second down. Back to throw, it's Zeno. Quarterback now breaking the field. Headed to the end zone. It's a fumble on the play. And he'll take it in for the touchdown. It won't have much impact on the outcome of the game, but it is a fabulous parting gift, a consolation prize, if you will.
And the offense is so lucky. That easily could have been a massive turnover in the end zone, but Johnny on the spot, able to pounce on it, and the end result is what they were hoping for anyway. It's a touchdown.
The AT unit on the field. They get the extra point on the board, but they're still down 35-7.
That makes the score Texas 35, Texas A&M 7.
The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd.
Texas.
And there will be no return on this one as the ball bounds into the end zone. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground to keep this clock moving. Got enough for the first down and wants more. Out across the 30 mark, down at the 35 after the 10-yard gain.
One of the things you love about this running back is his physicality. He's got great size, and because of that, he can wear defenses down. Those 2-, 3-, and 4-yard gains in the first and second quarter, they become big gains late. Guys don't want to tackle him, and you're seeing that now.
The Longhorns can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go.
This is an area of the game. On offense, you've got to be able to run the football well. You've got the lead in the fourth quarter, and obviously you're in your own end here, but you want to bleed the clock. You want to stay on the field and keep getting first down, so you have to be able to run.
The Longhorns come to the line needing just inches for the first down. On 3rd and short, they'll go to the power running game. That will be the final play as they make the stop, and the clock has expired here. The week has been immersed in midnight yells, barbecue smells, a sea of crowds in the fall colors, and the Lone Star Showdown ends with Texas hooking up and getting the victory over the Aggies. Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.